Well, good afternoon, good morning to you, Andrew, and good evening to all of our listeners. My name is Sarah Souza. I serve as the Assistant Director of International Admissions here at Duquesne University, and I'm joined by my colleague, Andrew. You want to introduce yourself, Andrew?
Hi, everyone. I am Andrew Conlog. My official title is Manager of International Admissions and Recruitment. I work closely with Sarah and the rest of the international admissions team. Greetings to all of you.
All right, well, let's get right into it. So today we're talking about the next steps, and this is for students that are getting ready to arrive spring 2025. So that starts here in just a few weeks. So I've prepared a couple tips for you. So depending on where you're at in the process, you may find yourself at different stages of this presentation. So we're going to take you through it all. And be sure to send us any questions you have, and we can address them so you can get started on time for the semester. All right, Andrew, are you able to see my screen?
I am, and there it is. Okay,
Okay.
accepted students, next steps. Perfect.
All right, sounds good. Well, let's get right into it. So, congratulations again on your acceptance to Duquesne University. We are really excited to welcome you here. It is always a great time to meet you in person after we've worked with you mostly over email. So, we're excited about that. Today, we're going to talk about the enrollment next steps, account accesses, and multipass housing, if you haven't already determined that, and some final documents and forms and orientation tuition payments. Important. So let's get right into it. Here is your list of things to do. I always like to tell students, this is going to be the first of your homework that you get here at Duquesne University. You're going to need to set up your multipass. Multipass is the dual factor authentication that all platforms at Duquesne University use. So once you set it up, it's quite easy, but you do need to set it up and you need to have your D number, which is your ID number that you'll use here at Duquesne. It's on your acceptance letter. If you cannot find it, email one of us and we'll be happy to provide it for you, but you will need that. And the link is here to show you directions on how to use multipass. I think by now you've set up your or you have your I-20s, so we're not going to get into that. Hopefully that's the case. Otherwise, it'll be a challenge to get here. So do make sure a little tip when you're traveling that you have your I-20 printed. It is signed by you. The signature from us is already on there. Have it printed. Have your admission letter printed too. That's a little tip that we are giving students. Make sure everything is in line with your arrival to the United States. You should also check your email regularly. You have a Duquesne email. And you can see the naming convention at the end when we show you myself and Andrew's email, but you do have a Duquesne email, and I'm sure you have emails in there waiting for you to look at. So if you haven't opened it already, do check your email. You can do that by Outlook, or you can do it from your portal, your Joy portal, and that is accessible by choosing email. Lastly, be sure to have your attendance paid. So that is a different amount depending on if you are undergraduate or graduate, your deposit to confirm your attendance, excuse me. So you can do that through your application portal. And this lets us know that you are coming, and it's an important step to open up your access to register for classes. If you do not pay the deposit, we don't know you're coming, so you actually can't register for classes. If you want on-campus housing, you need to complete the housing survey. We'll talk about that. And you must complete immunization requirements. This is important and a requirement to register for classes. All right, I'm just going to quickly talk about accessing your accounts because at this point, I hope you've already done it. You need to create your multipass with a username and password, access your portal, the Duke portal, and then you can access that Duke portal further to access your email. So I have these links here. We'll share this with you, a PowerPoint to access the links. So in the end, if you got your email not, or you got your I-20 not through our immigration portal, someone just was able to give it to you, you won't be able to access it unless you have set up a multipass. So it's another reason to set up the multipass. You really need to set that up so you can access all the portals here on campus. And we have instructions here for you. The health requirements are so important. So this is where I want to spend a lot of time. Prior to your arrival, you should prepare these items and it'll make your time a lot easier to register here on campus. Submit your health history online, and that is found on your Duquesne portal. There's a list of vaccination requirements that can be found at the link, and they will ask you to provide that history in your portal. You can also bring a copy of these to the orientation, and we'll have health services there to assist you. You should provide proof of health insurance if you plan to waive out of the Duquesne insurance. All international students are required to have health insurance, and we provide that to international students. So you will be enrolled in that automatically as an international student at Duquesne University. If you would like to apply for a waiver, you need to provide several sources of information proving that you have adequate health insurance, and they're pretty strict requirements to meet that. So usually I recommend that students talk to one of us first about the plan that they choose to use to try to apply for the waiver, because most, if not all, international plans are not accepted. They don't provide the coverage that is required federally for you here in the United States. Okay, Andrew, you want to take over here?
I would love to. So, all right. We've talked a little bit about health. We've talked a little bit about preparation, everything along these lines. So, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the documents that you're actually going to want to bring with you when you travel. So, I would go ahead and, as we suggest here, I'd go ahead and pack these itemized documents here in your carry-on luggage. So, some good advice here is definitely make sure it is with you. It is not in the bags that you check. It's not in the bags that are in the hold of the airplane or anything like that. These needs to be with you. So we require you to bring all these following documents here. So in terms of your secondary school, we're going to want to have your academic transcripts. We're going to want to have original ones of those. So go ahead and bring those with you. The actual documents themselves. And then if it's applicable, if you're a graduate student here, if you have some of this as part of your application, if you have the post-secondary transcripts, any of those, go ahead and bring those as well. So whatever transcripts from secondary up that you might have, go ahead and bring actual documentation of that as well. And now, that's our requirement. That's the Center for Global Engagement. Going on to health services requirements here, we're just talking a little bit about health services. So we would want a copy of all of your health records, and we would also want that to be translated into English. And again, these are actual documents you want to bring. Make sure to bring those with you. And so you're also going to need $60 USD for the health center for this process as well. And then go ahead and have proof of health insurance as well. So some kind of actual documentation you can produce. And again, that's going to be needed to meet all our requirements. Like Sarah said, please reach out to us if you're going to be using a different health insurance so we can make sure that it would satisfy that coverage. If you don't have that proof and that actual documentation, you are going to be billed for Duquesne's health insurance. So if that's an avenue you want to pursue, go ahead and make sure that you have those documentation with you. And also a really good tip as well, I think here, if you have any kind of medication that you need, make sure you don't check it and have it in the bag, in the bin, in the holds, wherever it might be, other than with you in your actual carry-on. And keep it on your person during travel just in case. So if that's a situation that you're taking a look at, you need to bring medication, make sure you actually bring it with you. It's on your person. So again, just a little bit of a rundown of everything that we're going to need and also some things that we think it's just a good idea that you have with you.
Yeah, excellent. So undergraduates here at Duquesne are required to live on campus for the first 2 years. So if you are in those first 2 years of your undergraduate, you need to complete the housing survey to be assigned your housing. So please complete that. It's available in your Duquesne portal. And you should do it now. I would do December as the deadline here. We're going to house you if you have no place to go, but you really need to complete it. It's the best way for us to know how to best select the person you'll be staying with or your requested housing based on your answers on the form. So you'll be sent that information by the residence life staff about your housing assignment, and you are able to arrive to campus early. Let us know when you plan to arrive. You can arrive 24/7 here to campus, and we can let you in to your assignment, or if not, some other temporary assignment. But you do need to let us know. So, we can prepare in advance and let the staff know that you will be arriving. Graduate housing is not the expectation for you to live on campus. In fact, most graduate students do live off campus. So we do have a couple resources for you while you're looking for housing, some apartment resources to search. We also have a department committed to assisting you, commuter affairs, with some recommendations of local landlords or people maybe searching for a roommate. That's kind of the easiest way, I think, sometimes, not having to sign all the paperwork yourself. Just join in and take a room that's available. But it's very important for the graduate students who want to go back to this. You need to make accommodations for yourself when you arrive. Do not expect to come to campus and have a place to stay while you're looking. You need to let us know in advance if you are making that request. We want to make sure you're safe. We want to make sure there's a place for you to safely stay. We cannot do that if you do not allow us the time to prepare for you. And we also cannot do that if we do not have the space. So that's also an important factor to let us know in advance what your plans are. So, if you're planning to look while you arrive, after you arrive to campus, you plan on looking, make sure you have a place to live during that time when you're searching. That is so critical. We want to make sure everyone is safe and has a good experience. So, it is winter here in the United States. So, that's another factor. You want to have some place to go for sure to get out of the cold. Okay, do you want to talk about transportation from the airport?
Absolutely, yeah. And again, just to reiterate, it is winter. That's why we have our festive sweaters on here. And so definitely we want to make sure that you're going to be in good shape in terms of accommodation. So let us know. But when you actually do arrive, you are going to arrive to Pittsburgh International Airport. It's a great airport. I have been there a lot of times in the course of our work. Sarah has as well. And it's very safe. Even if you arrive any time of day, no worries there at all. And it's only about 30 minutes from campus. It's not bad at all. And it's pretty easy to get around as well. In terms of options to get from the airport to campus, we have a variety of different options you can use here. Most commonly, it would be a rideshare like Uber and Lyft, but we also have taxis. There's the shuttle that you can get from the airport, sedan service, meet and greet. You can do that as well. So, we have kind of the general options there. Those for taxis and ride shares, those ranges, might depend on time of day, how busy that is. That's kind of what you'd want to think about in terms of budgeting as well. But again, lots and lots of options to get to campus. Very easy to do so as well. And again, don't really worry about, you can arrive any time of day. And you're going to be in good shape. It's also a pretty easy airport to navigate as well. But
Yeah,
we,
it's not a
yeah,
huge airport. That's a kind of a benefit of it. It makes it a little bit more approachable for new people.
it's a little easier to navigate. But yeah, here's some options for you in terms of getting there. And again, I wouldn't stress out too much about it. It's going to be pretty smooth when you arrive.
Make sure you have those apps downloaded too. That's another tip. Uber and Lyft, don't wait till you arrive to download them. Download them now. Have everything ready. Have your payment loaded. That's how I always get to and from the airport if I don't drive myself. I'm using Uber and Lyft. It's the most reliable in terms of like a variation of time of day that you arrive. So that would be kind of what I would say is to rely on. And here's the address you will put in when you arrive if you're coming to campus. If you're a graduate student and you're not living on campus, there's no reason for you to come to campus. So have the address where you're going and use that. But if you are arriving to campus, you will use this address, and this will drop you off here at Duquesne Towers. I have the arrow pointing of what it's going to look like. You should check in at Duquesne Towers. It doesn't matter what building you are assigned to, but you need to go to this building, Duquesne Towers, when you arrive because all students must check in there and they're going to give you your information to be able to get to your room wherever that is. So there is 24/7 staff at Duquesne Towers. This is the place you need to go. It is 3 large buildings on campus. It's right next to the football field. I'll show you this on a map. Next, so the football field is down here in front, Rooney Field, and the Duquesne Towers is right next to it. So be sure that that is where you check in. Don't come to our office because probably we're not going to be here. So we want you to be happy, safe, and comfortable when you arrive. And if you come to our office, we may not be here to provide some of that stuff. So be sure you check in at Duquesne Towers. Also, I want to just point out there is a hotel at the airport, Pittsburgh Airport. If you arrive in the middle of the night and you just want to have a rest, some of you have a very long journey, you could book a room ahead of time at the airport that you just walk to. It's pretty much attached to the airport. So that would be another tip for me that I would give students if you're arriving super late and you don't want to have to worry about doing all of this stuff, stay there and then you could do it in the morning. So everything is walkable on campus. I have a circle around where our office is. It's in the Duquesne Union. After you arrive and check into your housing, wherever that may be, on campus or off campus, then I suggest you stop in and visit us on the 6th floor of the Duquesne Union. And that is right in the center of campus. It is the building with the Starbucks, which I'm sure you will find first. And you can come say hi to us. We are in the office Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. So make sure you come in during those times. I also have a red circle around the Duquesne Towers, again, where you should check in if you are planning to live on campus and you completed that housing survey. So I have little pictures, little pixelated, but of the seasons, you will arrive in winter. Be sure you have some warm clothes on when you leave the airport. So this is Pittsburgh with snow. We don't have snow right now, so it's not always looking like this, but it is cold. So you don't want to be wearing sandals. You want to have a coat. You want to, have socks on. That's important in this season. You can buy a lot of the stuff here if you want more, but if you don't have a nice winter jacket yet, just put on a couple sweatshirts and that'll help, and then you can buy something here. But I just want to remind you that, sometimes people don't hold their jackets and things with them on the airplane. They might put in their luggage, but make sure you take that out so you stay warm. So class registration cannot be done until you submit your immunization requirements. You will do that through your portal, or you can email duhealth@duq.edu. So be sure you are familiar with those requirements. That is the number one issue students face when they arrive. They did not complete the immunization requirements. We can help you with that on campus. We can assist you. We will have health services at orientation, but just be aware you cannot register for classes until they lift the hold and you complete those requirements. You also will not get a bill until you're registered for classes. So this is a really important step. You can do this again at our orientation and discuss it with your advisor when you come to campus, or you can begin doing those things now. So once it is time to pay your student bill, you must pay the student bill by the end of the first full week of classes. You can sign up for a payment plan that is $35, and you do that all through your portal, your Duquesne portal. It splits the payment up to 4 or 5 months, so it's a little bit easier for most students to be able to do that, or you can just pay it all at once. There is an option for international transfer through Flywire in the portal as well, so you can check that out once you get here. If you plan on paying with a credit card, there is a service charge of 2.75%. Here's some instructions on how to do that. So you can pause this and check this out when you have a bill. Okay, let's talk about your to-do list again. International Student Orientation is January 7th, and here is the link here. We'll provide this to you. You must attend. It is mandatory. So sign up. It'll give you the information of where to go, what we plan to do. you will be provided breakfast and lunch. So that is great. You don't have to worry about buying food for yourself during the day. The first day of classes is January 9th. Be sure to pay your deposit because that opens up the ability to complete your immunization requirements, complete your housing survey, and you must arrange early check-in, early move-in if you're coming to campus early and moving in. So talk to one of us, Andrew or myself, if you plan to arrive to campus for the orientation and you're living on campus. Again, tuition payments are due at the end of the first full week of classes. Keep us informed of your plans. Andrew and I, we'd like to keep track of what's going on. If you've been working with one of us, you can continue to work with one of us. You don't need to email both of us. You can just keep us informed of what's going on. Uh, Late arrivals, I just want to make a note of that. You need to let us know. That is not an assumption that you may arrive late. Okay, it may seem easy to you, but there are different requirements, visa requirements, requirements of your department that may not permit you to arrive late. So you need to let us know. That is the best way to secure any type of accommodation if you need to arrive late. So do let us know immediately if you are having some delay that requires you to come late to campus. And we will discuss if that is a possibility for you or if you need to defer and move to another semester. So we could talk about that. A good way to stay in touch with us is through our Instagram at international, or I'm sorry, our Instagram is at DUQ Global, Duke Global. So follow us on Instagram. We have our YouTube channel here at International Duke and Facebook as well. And I also listed some organizations you might want to check out. Well, that's all I have to say. Andrew, do you want to add anything, any tips for your student as we close here?
Well, not so much add anything as just reiterate some things that you said, Sarah. That I mean, all of it's important. Definitely remember everything that we presented on today, but definitely remember just keep us informed of your plans. As Sarah said, if you've been in touch with either of us, please just keep in touch. Just let us know what's going on, and especially, just want to reiterate if you think it's even a possibility that you might arrive after orientation, please just keep us informed. There's a lot that goes into late arrival. Number one, immigration, your classes, housing, all those things. Just please, if it's even a possibility, just let us know, keep us informed, and just in general, keep us informed of your plans. We're here to help. We're excited that you're coming, and we just want to make sure it's a smooth process. And the more information we have, the better. And there's our contact information, our general email, both of our personal emails, and please just keep in touch with us. That's about all. Like I say, not really adding anything. Just want to reiterate.
Yeah, and then just to echo what you said, keeping us informed, if anything changes, also keep us informed. We can see when you do enter the country, and if you enter the country and have a delay of coming to campus, we worry about you. So let us know what's happening. We do care about you as a person, most importantly, and your safety, and we want to make sure that get to the US safely, you get to our campus safely, and we can serve as a resource for you during that time. So keep us informed. You don't need to send an email to everyone. We'll get it. So if you send an email to me, you send an email to Andrew, we'll keep track of it and we'll help you along the way. So thank you so much for watching today. Please reach out to us if you have a question, and we look forward to welcoming you to campus January 7th at our International Student Orientation. Take
See
care.
you soon, everybody. Thanks for attending.